Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another movie review. So this movie was brought to me by BET Plus, and I think this movie came out on Thanksgiving, but I was caught up doing stuff so that I get a chance to. So now we got a chance today. So it's called So Fly Christmas. So let's get into it. So it stars Tanisha Arnold, Tammy Roman, this dude, I forgot his name. His name is Robert something. Jackie Harry. Yeah, that's just to name a few. So, it's Yvetta, played by Tanisha Arnold, and Dion, played by Tammy Roman. So, they're both best friends. It starts off with Yvetta supposed to be getting married in the church. Only people show up is her mom, her dad, her goddaughter, and her best friend, and the preacher, and the person that's supposed to be playing the piano. So, come to find out, she got stood up. Her husband, her fiance was Floyd. He was a no-show. So, that day forward, she vowed to, never give love a try. So, Yvetta decided to, marry her best friend, Dion, so that they could both, be done with love and be on the same page together. I don't know why people thought that was a good idea, but anyways, that's just what happened. So now it's been a year later. Yvetta still hasn't found nobody. Floyd still hasn't come up in the picture. And, things are going well. It's around Christmas time. Dion's daughter, Sierra, she's in college. And she wrote a good thesis paper. And they wanted to get it published. So come to find out, she didn't get her work copyrighted. So her professor took it upon herself to publish it as it was his. And she wanted to fight him on it. And he was like, no, I don't want to do all that. She was like, but how are you doing this? Like, I want to get paid for this and my royalties. He was like, no, I don't have to give you anything. Like, it's my work. And I took it. I got the copyright on it. You should have did more better with copyrighting your work. And then she was trying to fight him for it. So she was like, all right, that's cool. So she now goes home and she lets her mom know everything that's what's going on. So now she's going to start fighting, and she figure out some tactics to, get the professor to give her back her paper. So meanwhile, at this same time, I believe Yvetta is still in her dumb love phase. Around this time, they go to this favorite restaurant, I guess, in the neighborhood called Shirley's, and everybody just goes there to eat and have a good time. So one day, Dion is there with her daughter, but her daughter couldn't stay because she said she had to go figure out some stuff with the professor, and she notices this fine guy, and he was just like, okay, and he's watching her and she's watching him. So the guy, his name is Clarence, he watches her daughter leave. And she's still sitting back eating her salad while he's at the bar eating a burger and fries. So he gets up. She thought he was about to hit on her, but he was only asking for the ketchup because they're having a shortage of ketchup. Trust me, ketchup is very, very good. Like, even though it's just crushed up tomatoes, it's thebomb.com. So he was just asking because her table was the only one that had double ketchup. So she thought he was trying to hit on her and flirt and stuff. They was like, nah, I was just asking for the ketchup. So now she felt bad, and she was like, oh, okay. So he ends up getting the ketchup, and he goes back to the bar to eat his food. Next, the waitress comes up, and she was like, hey, is there really a shortage in ketchup? She was like, yeah, we're supposed to be getting the shipment out later today or tomorrow. So, whatever you see is what's here. And she was like, oh, okay. So she was like, all right. So do me a favor. Take the Jack Frost carrot cake and charge it to the guy, put it on my tablet, give it to the guy that's at the bar. So the waitress does that, and Dion was looking from afar. She was just like, she did the cake to him. He was like, Come to find out, he was allergic to nuts. So I could see why he said no. So she got up and she felt offended, like, why would you do that? And he was like, listen, I'm allergic to nuts. She's like, oh, okay. He was like, so since you're single and I'm single, we're eating alone, how about we eat together? She was like, oh, okay. And he was insinuating that she bring her food to him. She was like, no, you bring your food to me. He was like, oh, okay. He got his stuff. And he literally went to her table, they ate, and they continued eating the food. So he wanted to talk to her. And she was not trying to give him the time of day. She was just trying to eat her salad in peace and just let it be. So he was like, listen, we could get this thing rolling. So eventually, come to find out, they start hanging out with each other more to get to open up and stuff like that. So now it's been about a month's time. Why Veda still don't know what's going on with Dion. Dion didn't never tell why Veda what happened because she know it would break her heart because she's dumb on love. She would assume that her friend was on the same page as her, but obviously that's not the case. So they start hanging out more. Why Veda comes to her house one time. Well, one time after, they end up doing the do and they end up sleeping on the couch and whatever. So why Veda has a key. So she just opens the door. And Dion has to wake him up to go hide so that, he don't get caught because don't know what's going on. So, long story short, why Veda, both times, Clarence the first time at the house, she said smell like butt. So that obviously the sex was in the air. So, obviously that's what you're going to smell. So, she was spraying some perfumes or whatever. Dion did a kind of good job of trying to get Veda out the house the first time, but she didn't lock the door back because she had the key. So she was like, yeah, I'm just going to do some shopping and whatnot. And then whatever. She was like, all right, that's cool. So eventually that was close is clear this time. But Dion told Clarence what was really going on. He was like, yeah, I understand your friendship, but you got to tell her about us because I'm your boyfriend and that's just what it is. So the second time that happened, Veda... I think her key took him back, so she had to knock on the door, and then Tammy call on by her real name. Dion goes to open the door, and she was acting strange. She was like, "Can I come in?" She was like, "Yeah, that's cool." And every time Veda tried to come in, Dion would stop her. It was like, "You acting strange," and then she was like, close the door in her face. So then she was asking Clarence. He was like, "So what am I to?" He was like, "Girl, he was my boyfriend, but I don't like how things are going." But she was like, "Can you be my plumber?" So eventually he went along with it, and then next she goes back to open the door, and Veda comes in. She was like, "Oh, you got a plumber?" You're like, "Yeah, my name is Clarence. I'm the plumber," stuff like that. So she would ask if she wanted breakfast and stuff like that. She was like, "Yeah, I could always eat again. Trust me, if it's a good breakfast, people can always eat again." But anyways, that was the situation, and whatever. So long story short, Veda finally finds out about Clarence and Dion. Clarence ends up breaking up with Dion at the restaurant because at this time Veda, her mom, her dad catches them at the diner. So all hell broke loose and basically she lost her best friend and her boyfriend at the same time within 5 minutes. Like, all you had to do is just be woman enough to tell her what was going on. Like, listen, just because you feel that way doesn't mean I felt that way because obviously at one point Dion, she was once married and then she divorced, so it was just her and her daughter. So she obviously knows what to experience and why Veda didn't even get a chance to do that. So I kind of see both sides of the story. But anyway, so they do their podcast or whatever. This movie started off with them doing their podcast. So basically they just give relationship advice and stuff like that. So during this time, after the whole situation fell out and they not really cool on talking terms, they do their podcast. This lady had made some marshmallows that look like little snowmen, and Veda ate it, and she was like, "Oh, these are okay." Basically, Dion was trying to sell the story, say, "Oh, they're so good," and Dion, since she was feeling some type of way, she was like, "Oh, they're okay," and basically kind of saying they were nasty on live television, but whatever. After that, they kind of hashed it out. Ciara, she was able to get the professor to give her back a paper with the help of her recording, and he's having verbal admission to taking her paper and trying to make it off as his. So then she was also going to go down to the dean to get that done. She finally got paper back, and she also got a public post with somebody else, so that was good for her. Veda and Dion, they made up with the help of listening to Veda's parents talk to her and stuff like that. Floyd finally came back into the picture, and he was still doing the shady stuff he did before. He basically supposed to pay her some money. He didn't pay her the money for the half of the receptionist and stuff like that. And then he dipped on her like a ghost in the wind, like a cloud. Poof, go away. Like, she didn't feel no type of way about that. She ended up getting some closure that she actually needed it, and stuff like that. Yeah, Yvette and Dion got back on good terms because Yvette came up to the house for Christmas, bring the gifts, and they talked it out. And then she also brought Clarence along, so now that she got her man and her best friend back, everything is starting to be cool. At the end, they go to hang out and have fun, and they pull up at their favorite place, Shirley's, to eat and have a good time. The pastor, his name was Wesley. He got his eye on Yvette, and she was like, okay, nice to meet you, Wesley. And everybody was looking at Donna like, okay, sis, about to get her mojo back. But yeah, this was a cool little fun movie. Like, I really enjoyed it. I dig it. Y'all can check it on BET Plus, but if you don't got it, you can wait a couple of months and wait till they put it on BET. They might move a little faster because it's the holidays. Who knows? But with that being said, hopefully this was all of what happened in the movie. And if not, y'all can let me know in the comment section if y'all watched the movie yourself. So with that being said, I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.